What if some of the choices you make every day are not really yours? The product you bought, the message you answered, the favor you accepted, or even the opinion you defended may have been shaped by someone who understood your mind before you noticed it. Persuasion is everywhere, but when it stops being communication and becomes control, the most powerful influence can feel like your own idea. The first hidden power of persuasion is reciprocity. This is one of the oldest psychological triggers in human behavior. When someone gives you something, even something small, your brain often feels a silent pressure to give something back. It could be a favor, attention, loyalty, money, forgiveness, or agreement. That is why free samples work. That is why a salesperson might offer you extra help before asking for a decision. That is why someone may do a small favor for you and later make you feel almost obligated to say yes to something bigger. At first, reciprocity sounds kind, and often it is. Human relationships are built on exchange. We help each other, support each other, and return kindness with kindness. But in dark persuasion, reciprocity becomes a tool. The gift is not really a gift. It is a hook. A person may give you attention just to make you emotionally dependent. A brand may give you something free so you feel more comfortable buying later. Someone may do one small thing for you and then act as if you owe them access to your time, your energy, or your choices. The reason this works is because the human brain does not like emotional debt. We prefer balance. When someone gives us something, we feel a small internal discomfort until we return the favor. Skilled persuaders know this. They may not force you directly. They simply create a feeling of obligation and let your mind do the rest. The hidden danger is that you may say yes not because you truly want to, but because you feel guilty saying no. A simple way to protect yourself is to pause and ask, would I still agree to this if they had not done anything for me first? If the answer is no, then the favor may be influencing you more than you realize. And before we continue to the second point, if this topic is already making you think differently about everyday situations, leave a like and subscribe to the channel, because understanding these hidden patterns can help you protect your mind from silent manipulation. The second hidden power of persuasion is scarcity. People tend to want more of what seems limited. When something appears rare, exclusive, almost gone, or available only for a short time, our brain reacts with urgency. We stop thinking calmly and start fearing loss. This is why you see phrases like only two left, limited offer, last chance, exclusive access, or available today only. These words do not just give information. They create pressure. Scarcity works because humans are deeply sensitive to missed opportunities. Losing something feels more painful than never having it in the first place. So when we believe something may disappear, our emotions often move faster than our logic. In daily life, scarcity is not only used in marketing. It can appear in relationships too. Someone may act distant to make their attention feel more valuable. A person may create the impression that many others want them, so you feel lucky to have their time. A company may make a product look difficult to get, even when the supply is not truly limited. The darker side of scarcity is that it can make ordinary things feel urgent. It can turn a normal decision into emotional pressure. You begin to think, if I don't act now, I will lose this. And once fear enters the decision, rational thinking becomes weaker. The key question is this truly limited, or am I being pushed to decide before I can think? Because genuine opportunities can wait long enough for you to evaluate them. Manipulative opportunities often demand immediate reaction. The third hidden power of persuasion is social proof. Humans are social creatures. When we are unsure what to do, we often look at what other people are doing. If many people like something, buy something, believe something, or follow someone, our brain uses that as a shortcut. Maybe this is the right choice. This is why reviews matter. This is why crowded restaurants seem more attractive. This is why videos with millions of views feel more trustworthy. This is why people are more likely to believe something when they see others agreeing with it. Social proof can be useful. It helps us navigate a complex world, but it can also be dangerous because popularity is not the same as truth. Dark persuasion uses social proof to make you feel like you're behind, isolated, or wrong if you do not follow the crowd. You may see phrases like, "Everyone is doing this," "Smart people already know," "Thousands have joined," or "You're missing out." The goal is not always to inform you. Sometimes the goal is to make disagreement feel uncomfortable. In relationships, social proof can appear when someone says, "Everyone agrees with me," or "Nobody else would react like you," even when that is not true. In groups, it can appear when one strong opinion creates the illusion that all other opinions are invalid. The mind fears rejection. So when a message makes you feel alone, you may start adjusting your beliefs just to belong. The protection is simple but powerful. Ask, are people choosing this because it is truly good, or because they're also being influenced by the crowd? Because sometimes the crowd is not evidence. Sometimes the crowd is the result of persuasion happening at scale. The fourth hidden power of persuasion is authority. We are naturally more likely to believe people who appear knowledgeable, confident, powerful, famous, successful, or officially recognized. A uniform, a title, a certificate, a large audience, a luxury lifestyle, or even a confident tone of voice can make someone seem more credible. Authority helps society function. We need experts, teachers, doctors, leaders, and experienced people. But dark persuasion uses the appearance of authority to bypass your critical thinking. A person does not always need real expertise to sound convincing. Sometimes they only need strong language, certainty, and the right image. If they speak with enough confidence, many people assume they must know what they are talking about. This is especially powerful online. Someone can stand in front of an expensive car, use complex words, show screenshots, or speak aggressively, and suddenly their message feels more important. But presentation is not proof. The fifth hidden power of persuasion is emotional mirroring. People trust those who seem to understand them. When someone reflects your feelings, your words, your posture, your values, or your pain, you may feel an instant connection. It feels like this person gets me. Mirroring can be genuine. Good listeners naturally mirror others. Friends do it. Therapists do it. Loving partners do it. It can create comfort and emotional safety. But in dark persuasion, mirroring is used strategically to build fast trust. Someone may copy your opinions, repeat your phrases, match your energy, and act like they share your deepest values. Not because it is true, but because they want access to your emotions. This can happen in dating, business, friendships, social media, and even scams. A person studies what you want to hear and becomes exactly that. They may agree too quickly. They may create a sense of destiny. They may make you feel seen in a way that lowers your defenses. The reason this works is because being understood is one of the deepest human needs. When someone makes us feel emotionally recognized, we become more open, more forgiving, and more likely to trust. The danger is speed. Real connection usually develops over time. Manipulative mirroring often feels intense very quickly. It may feel like instant intimacy, instant loyalty, instant alignment. A useful question is, does this person truly know me? Or are they reflecting back what I want to believe? Because some people do not connect with you to understand you. They connect with you to influence you. The sixth hidden power of persuasion is fear. Fear is one of the strongest forces in the human mind. When we feel afraid, our brain prioritizes survival over logic. We become more reactive, more alert, and more likely to accept quick solutions. This is why fear-based persuasion is so common. Advertisements may make you afraid of aging, failure, rejection, illness, poverty, or missing out. A person may make you afraid of losing them. A group may make you afraid of being excluded. A seller may make you afraid that your life will get worse unless you act now. Fear grabs attention faster than comfort. The brain is designed to notice threats. So if someone can make you feel unsafe, they can often guide your behavior. The dark version of fear persuasion follows a pattern. First, it creates anxiety. Then, it presents a solution. The solution may be a product, a person, an ideology, a decision, or an action. And because your mind wants relief, You may accept the solution before examining whether the fear was exaggerated. In relationships, fear can sound like, "You will never find someone like me," or "If you leave, you will regret it." In marketing, it can sound like, "Do this before it is too late." In social situations, it can sound like, "If you disagree, people will judge you." The question is not whether fear is always false. Sometimes fear points to real danger. The question is whether someone is using your fear to reduce your ability to think. To protect yourself, pause whenever a message makes you feel urgent, ashamed, or panicked. Ask, "Am I being informed?" or "Am I being emotionally cornered?" The seventh hidden power of persuasion is the contrast effect. The human brain does not judge things in isolation. It compares. Something can seem cheap after you see something expensive. Someone can seem kind after you deal with someone cruel. A bad option can look good if it is placed next to a worse option. This is the contrast effect, and it is used constantly. A salesperson may show you the most expensive product first, so the next option feels reasonable. A negotiator may make an extreme demand first, so their real demand seems smaller. A manipulative person may treat you badly, then give you a little kindness, making that kindness feel bigger than it really is. This is one of the most subtle forms of dark persuasion because it changes your standards. You may not notice that you're not choosing based on value, but based on comparison. For example, if someone ignores you for days and then gives you attention, that attention may feel precious. But compared to a healthy standard, it may still be very little. If a company shows you a huge price first and then offers a discount, the discount may feel impressive even if the final price is still high. The mind loves reference points. Once a reference point is created, your judgment moves around it. To protect yourself, ask, compare to what? Not compared to the worst option presented to you, but compared to what is genuinely fair, healthy, reasonable, or valuable. Because sometimes persuasion does not convince you that something is good. It simply puts something worse beside it. The eighth hidden power of persuasion is commitment and consistency. People like to feel consistent. Once we say yes to something small, we're more likely to say yes to something bigger later. Once we publicly support an idea, we may defend it even when evidence changes. Once we begin something, we often feel pressure to continue. This is why small commitments are powerful. A person may first ask for a tiny favor, then a larger one. A brand may ask you to sign up for free, then upgrade later. A group may ask you to agree with a simple statement, then gradually lead you towards stronger beliefs. The dark side is that manipulators can lead people step by step into decisions they would never accept all at once. At first, the request seems harmless. Then comes another request, then another. Each step feels connected to the last. And because you do not want to feel inconsistent, you keep going. This happens in relationships too. Someone may push one boundary, then another, then another. If you accepted the first one, they may make you feel guilty for resisting the next. You were okay with it before, they might say, but accepting one thing does not mean you owe acceptance forever. Commitment is powerful because identity is involved. Once we see ourselves as the kind of person who supports something, belongs somewhere, loves someone, or believes something, it becomes harder to step back. To protect yourself, remember this. Changing your mind is not weakness. It is intelligence when new information appears. Ask, would I choose this again today with what I know now? If the answer is no, your past commitment should not become a prison. The ninth hidden power of persuasion is guilt. Guilt can be healthy when it helps us recognize that we hurt someone or acted against our values. But in dark persuasion, guilt is used as a control mechanism. A person may make you feel selfish for having boundaries. They may make you feel cruel for saying no. They may remind you of everything they have done for you. They may exaggerate their suffering so you feel responsible for fixing it. This kind of persuasion is especially powerful because good people are vulnerable to guilt. If you care about others, you do not want to hurt them. Manipulators know this. They may use your empathy against you. Guilt-based persuasion often sounds emotional, not logical. It may include phrases like, "After everything I did for you, I guess I do not matter. You only think about yourself," or "If you really cared, you would do this. The hidden message is, your freedom hurts me, so give it up. This is dangerous because it confuses compassion with obedience. Caring about someone does not mean surrendering your judgment. Helping someone does not mean abandoning yourself. Saying no does not automatically make you a bad person. To protect yourself, ask, am I responsible for their feelings, or are they making me responsible for their reaction? You can care without being controlled. You can be kind without being available for everything. You can love someone and still have limits. The 10th hidden power of persuasion is identity. This may be the most powerful one of all. People do not only make decisions based on facts. They make decisions based on who they believe they are. If a message connects to your identity, it becomes much harder to resist. That is why persuasion often uses phrases like people like us, smart people know, strong people do this, successful people never, or only weak people think that way. These phrases do not just present an idea. They challenge your self-image. If someone can make you believe that agreeing with them proves you are intelligent, strong, loyal, special, brave, or superior, they can influence you deeply. And if they can make disagreement feel like weakness, ignorance, betrayal, or failure, they can trap your mind. This happens everywhere. Brands sell identity, not just products. Influencers sell lifestyles, not just advice. Groups sell belonging, not just beliefs. Even ordinary conversations can become identity battles. The dark side of identity persuasion is that it can make people defend ideas that are not actually good for them, simply because those ideas became part of who they think they are. Once your ego attaches to a belief, changing your mind feels like losing part of yourself. That is why people sometimes defend bad decisions, toxic relationships, harmful habits, or false beliefs long after they notice the damage. To protect yourself, separate your identity from your opinions. You are allowed to grow. You are allowed to question. You are allowed to say, I used to think this, but now I see it differently. A strong identity is not one that never changes. A strong identity is one that can face truth without collapsing. And that is the hidden lesson behind all of this. Persuasion is not magic. It is psychology. It works because we are human. We want connection. We want safety. We want belonging. We want to avoid loss. We want to be understood. We want to feel consistent. We want to believe we are making the right choices. The problem is not that these feelings exist. The problem is when someone uses them without honesty, without respect, and without caring about the consequences for you. The most dangerous persuasion does not always look aggressive. It may look friendly. It may look helpful. It may look romantic. It may look inspiring. It may even feel like freedom at first. But real persuasion gives you room to think. Manipulation rushes you. Real persuasion respects your no. Manipulation punishes it. Real persuasion gives information. Manipulation creates pressure. Real persuasion helps you choose. Manipulation tries to choose through you. So the next time you feel a sudden urge to buy, agree, apologize, obey, defend, or chase something, pause for a moment. Ask yourself, is this really my decision? Or did someone carefully build the emotional condition for me to make it? Because sometimes the most powerful control is not the one you can see. It is the one that feels like your own thought. If this video helped you see persuasion in a different way, leave a like, subscribe to the channel, and share it with someone who needs to understand these hidden patterns. And now I want to know, which of these persuasion techniques do you think appears most often in everyday life? Reciprocity, scarcity, fear, guilt, authority, or identity? Write your answer in the comments, because your experience might help someone else recognize a manipulation they never noticed before.